like to watch it, that's Gold Stream TV on YouTube. Come check it out. They'll be here all weekend long. With that said, as you're finishing up, good luck and good bowling. Oh, one last thing. Also, please turn in your score sheet at the end of the tournament behind lanes 1 and 2, where you got your lane assignment. Even if it's not going to be a casher, please still turn it in so we're not searching for it. The top 8 do go into a bracket play final where you'll do a one game roll-off until the very end, which is best 2 out of 3 in the final. Good luck.
I'm not getting it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the legendary Western Bowl Strike and Spare here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Of course, the home and longtime home, historical home of the Super Hoinky Classic. And now, at least for this year and perhaps in the future, the home of the Bradley Open. As we get you underway with the always important kickoff event here at the Bradley Open weekend. It is the Fairchild Singles Shootout. And of course, in memory of Mike Fairchild, who bowled the event, great success, and a friend of many of the tournament staff. Every entry, $10 from that entry is donated to aneurysm research. So a very important event. And, of course, put on by Jason Utchwald, tournament director here at the Bradley Open. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Pleased to be here with you. Appreciate y'all tuning in here on this afternoon. We've got singles and then the double shootout tonight. And then, of course, the Bradley Open proper. The tournament in and of itself, with the always grind that we know the Bradley is, that officially begins tomorrow morning with A Squad. But first, for players, an opportunity to make a little cash before tomorrow. $1,000 guaranteed to the winner of the single shootout. Players will bowl 3 games. They will move one pair to the right. Top 8 3-game totals will advance to the bracket. Single elimination matches, and then we'll crown a champion. If you have not already, please share if you don't mind. Uh-oh, we got an echo. Thank you very much. I don't hear that echo, so thank you.
Sometimes it does.
Let me know if anyone else may have an echo. I don't hear it. That doesn't mean it's there. It's not there. I did turn down my other headset. The acoustics in this building, it's been a while since I've been in here. I bowled the Hoinky, the last time I bowled was probably, I'm thinking 2013-ish. When you walk in here, there is, history everywhere, and as you might imagine, all of the Super Hoinky champions, the Hoinky Classic Scratch champions, the handicap champions, all and on this, these bronze-like mantles, if you will, where you can look and see what year this person won, etc. There's a picture of Mika Koivunievi on the wall. Taking a look at 11 through 14 to start. Might be going over to 9 and 10 here in a moment. A couple of players, actually three. There's three on a pair to this point. All three had the front three. One just left the 210 and made that. So there have been a couple of 300 games during the singles shootout. Shout out to Kim in the chat. Last time I saw Kimber was right here at the Bradley Open. Important to note, the players are bowling on the house shot for singles and doubles. A chance to kind of get the swing loose, if you will. Nice shot there by James. Couple of lefties within our respective pairs. We got picture-in-picture bottom right. That pair or pairs 15 through 18. That's in the bottom right of your screen. And then we'll also have 7 through 10 throughout the weekend. Looking forward to a very good weekend. Shout out to my man Craig Alley, who filled in for me last year. Of course, new venue. Unfortunately, Executive Strike and Spare closed its doors. And of course, the moving back, I should say, in the tournament started much earlier in January last year. This year back in what is a familiar February kind of time slot, although this year it does run into March. And many of Cincinnati's finest, along with, of course, those who have made their way when the tournament certainly had been in Louisville for so long, and really within the state of Kentucky. You see, I think, a good mix of new players who are going to try to tackle the Bradley from Cincinnati and the area, and of course those who have made the trip from Louisville and other surrounding areas. Still see a couple of strings going, and several of them are on 13 and 14. Brett Miller actually left lane 11. This is James, though, on the right side of your screen. And James, he's got 5 in a row. I know there's always an argument about sport versus house shots and whatnot, but, when you get a weekend where you can contribute and play on both, I feel like that's about as a win as you can get, especially something as difficult as the Bradley. Get out here early, singles and doubles, let it loose for a little bit, because if you're bowling tomorrow, you know what you're in for. Now, if you've never bowled the Bradley, it's a straight grind. Seen a lot of young players competing here in the Fairchild Singles Shootout too, which is great. I'm thinking young as in younger than, maybe even 18. There's definitely some players in their early 20s or late teens. We do have a few collegiate players that I've seen. Keegan Alexander is bowling. I think he's going to be bowling all weekend. Out of college, though, Julian Salinas. I saw him making his way in here about 12:45-ish or so. Tyrell Ingles, those two were teammates at SCAD Savannah. Now trying to tackle the PBA world as tour rookies. Might see a couple other players who did not advance at the Legend Pete Weber Classic making their way here. Of course, depending on if they have to bowl the PTQ or not, which is the next event coming up at the U.S. Open. We're going all the way down to what looks like lane 28, so 1 through 28 is in play. We'll have this same amount or close to it from the group of lanes used for tonight's doubles. Run over for James Greco. And then, of course, for the Bradley, I believe we're looking at a 1 through, well, hopefully, 1 through 64 would be great. That's how many lanes are here in the building. But I think we'll be in the 50s tomorrow. We do have a front 7 next door. Take a look at my singles roster. Thanks to Justin Peach, helping, of course, Jason Utchwall, a longtime tournament staffer here in the Bradley. See if I can figure out. Actually, it's 9 and 10, so it's not Eugene Beeks. It is, this is letter B, according to what I'm looking at. It could be Zach Grove. Kind of that strange thing, right? You want to make sure you call the right person's name, especially if they're doing something great. But you also don't want to disrupt their rhythm. It could just be me who's like that with respect to the broadcasting aspect. Shout out to Jeremy, I see you, man. All right, so let's take a look real quick. It's Greco. Right side of your screen there. And the first, what I would call probably the first black cloud of the weekend. .28, but still an opportunity, of course, if made, to shoot 270. Eugene over there can shoot 267. There is another front 7 down on 3 and 4. This is game 1 of 3, so truly a shootout. Not quite Desperado-ish type shootout. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be A squad at 8:30, B squad right now scheduled to begin at 12:30 p.m. That's 8:30 a.m. of course. Then a re-entry or Desperado, quick 2-game sprint. 50 players from each squad will advance. Another 8. From the Desperado. And then they'll bowl 5 more games at night during the advancers round. Top 30 will advance tomorrow night to Sunday's Cashers round at the Bradley. From that 30, we will whittle it down to 8 players. Nice shot there. Top 8 will advance to the Bradley Open bracket finals. Oof. Boy, that's a difficult break there. Brett Miller from Moorhead, Kentucky. Using a little, what looks like, hard to tell, looks urethane-ish with that 3-bagger. I'm anticipating, I'm going to say at least 2 300 games. And then I'm going to say it takes 698 to make the top 8 here for the single shootout. I'm going to go 698. Momentary bet perhaps between friends here. He's got a chance. If there's someone out there listening and you're still considering about bowling the Bradley, or even tonight for that matter, you can still bowl doubles. They will be accepting walk-ins both tonight, and certainly if someone wants to bowl the Bradley tomorrow. .236, we're going to have a possible another .236 on 9 and 10, and a possible .267. Take a look at some final tallies over there. Each pair moves 1 to the right, 1 pair to the right. So we'll see a few teams, or I'm sorry, a few pairs again. Tonight's doubles, and we'll move 1 pair to their, I'm sorry, they will skip a pair tonight. We'll take a look at 15, 16, 17, and 18. We've got a run brewing down there, possible 290. Mike Moore putting in work on 13 and 14. You two can get into the 260s. Jay Menifee, according to the roster, 233. Brett Miller can still get into the 230s. And James needs this to have a chance at 230, and he gets a nice trip on the 7. Mike Moore will be in the 260s. And then Zach Grove next door on 9 and 10 shot 266. So at the moment, it could be Mike Moore after one game leading with 267. All right, Brett's going to be in the 230s. Nicely done there from James. He too will be in the 230s. .233 to be exact. And now James will close it out, and we'll move down to 15 through 18. 235 for James. So several 230s. Several. All right, down on 17, Josh Lewis, Bobby Rice, Justin Wilson. That's 17 and 18. And in particular, we'll take that crossover. Josh Lewis, still with 290 possibility. Here is Josh. Still looking at 290. And as of this moment, he is trying to have the lead. Looks like everybody down on the low end of the building is now complete with game one. So this group, and there was a group or two that came in a little late, but they got on the lanes in time. So their practice began probably about a couple minutes after everybody else's, so they are finishing up. Little things to kind of pay attention to, just as bowlers, of course, but you know, this group that's heading over to 11 and 12. I'm not sure if urethane was used over on 9 and 10, so they might see something just a little bit different. That's a good shot there from Bobby Rice. Most players, you know, as you would assume in a house shop playing in the track area. 15 seems to be pretty popular for righties. Brett Miller was a little further right. He was throwing urethane, at least it looked that way. Zach Grove, who shot 267. He just got that one close to the fourth arrow, and that just skated. That's what you see in your picture-in-picture. So Jay Menifee goes over next door. The lefty starts with a strike there. Of course, brackets were available, other side pots were available, and will be available throughout the weekend. Still waiting for Josh Lewis. We'll have an opportunity to shoot 290. Oh, nice spare. Three, 4, 7, 10 converted. That was by Brett Miller. Bottom right of your screen. All right, here's Lewis. Right side of your screen. Trying to get to 290. Well, assumingly, that one just put him in the lead. See, Dawson Peterson, one of the best collegiate players in the country. He's undoubtedly, in my opinion at least, top 3. All right, so it's going to be 279 with the spare for Josh. A start to his singles shootout. Take a look at 7 through 10, maybe in a little bit. Take a quick look back at Matt Grove in a second, who is kind of picked up right where he left off. He was on 9 and 10. He's come over now on spare 3-bagger. And kind of looking to make it light work, if you will, on this Western Bowl house shot. Right now, everyone is just about done with game 2, and we can make it official. All right, so let's go next door. That was a good shot. Again, this is in dedication of Mike Fairchild. Passed away prematurely. And a lot of this, actually $10 from each event. I'm sorry, each entry of this particular tournament is donated to aneurysm research.
Come on.
Back over to Brett Miller. So putting in work. James Greco now bottom right of your screen. 2 out of 3 with the split in the second. Zach Grove now again spare, triple, 9 spare. And everyone is now into game 2. Appreciate you tuning in early. What should be a very fun weekend. Looking forward to seeing some players certainly from this area compete in Boulder Bradley. Still plenty of time to get into both the Bradley and tonight's doubles shootout. Doubles will still be on a house shot. Of course, the Bradley is on the Bradley. I heard that 2 wonderful legends, Brian Himmler and Rudy Kazmakis are going to bowl doubles together. That's what I heard tonight. There are a couple of groups who are just zooming ahead of some of their peers to their right. But that's because they're striking a lot. Speaking of striking a lot, I gotta see a front 7 down on 3 and 4. Yes, do me a favor if you wouldn't mind, and that's just to hit the thumbs up for me on this one. Everybody know where you're watching.
Right there, the first one. Yeah.
Start to keep an eye on some of the individuals who put together big games in game 1. But somebody like Gene here could potentially put himself in the mix for a top 8 spot if he can close this game out. He did shoot 236. Opportunity at 269. Julian Salinas. Let's see him opening, but boy, Zach throwing a lot of no-doubters. as a trio, this has been so far one of the best. I think all three of these individuals have bowled well and are still bowling well. Appreciate that extra info, Gene, repping the ATL. I like his personality. We're live from Western Bowl Strike and Spare, home of the legendary Hoinky. In Cincinnati, Ohio. It's the first year that the Bradley has been here. New location, new venue. Unfortunately, the longtime venue for the Bradley did close last year. The Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky. So Jason Utchwall, shout out to our general manager here. Dave has been great. Devin's been great. Entire staff so far, excellent. Dave Sievers. Big shot coming up here for Gene. This one puts him in the 250s. Again, he shot 236 in game one. 7-pin. He got it there just a little bit early. Over on 13 and 14 next door. 218 possibility for Jay Menifee. 225 possibility for Brett Miller. And Samuel King with 240 possible. But right now, Zach Grove can never guarantee anything, but he can certainly go one step further to possibly locking up a spot. For the top 8. There's no re-oil, so might just be about hitting the right pairs. Speaking of pairs, I'll see which pairs we're going to be on. Oh, my goodness. Hope that's the only 8-pin that we see tonight and throughout the weekend. 248 for Gene, so he's got 236, 248. And Zach shot 266. And he is up on the left side of your screen. 266 game one. One more puts him back in the 260s. And the lazy 10-pin. So Spare gets him to 258. And Josh Lewis did shoot 279, and that was the assumed game one lead. We won't have scores until all 3 games are complete. Same thing for tonight, but that'll change. Of course, tomorrow we'll have score updates for you more frequently once we get into the Bradley Open proper. All right, so Zach Groves is going to turn the corner with 5:24. It's an 8-player bracket, and as long as there's no changes that have been made, it'll be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5 in the first round of the bracket. All right, we'll watch a shot here from Brett Miller, and then we'll take a quick peek down again on 15 through 18. I always appreciate a lefty who can hook it. I appreciate lefties in general, but there's something a little extra cool about lefties who hook. Hey, Stephanie. I didn't see your comment before I was talking about scores, but if you heard me, there won't be any score tracking essentially for the first or for each individual game. So I'm doing my best just to kind of keep an eye on what I've seen. I thought Keegan actually shot 240-ish, 250-ish, I thought, at minimum. So we won't really know for sure until game 3 is all complete and we've got our top 8. I can tell you, though, that, of course, and that's just because we've seen him, Zach Grove, as he's got 5:24 after 2. What I will do, though, I might try to do a quick walk just to kind of sneak a peek of some score sheets. Luke, in my time covering the event here on Bullstream TV, boy, Greco needed that. Puts him in position now to get into the 230s. Where's my roster? So they have Mike Moore, James Grego, and Buell Sprandlin. Shout out to Buell out there getting it done. Mike Moore, meanwhile, he did shoot 267, I believe, and he can get into the 260s again. There it is. One more and he's there. With that comment, Luke, I didn't see anybody putting it out on the concrete, but because I do believe you. But I saw folks out there with, screen, the Scotch Brite. I'm talking about like 20 grit sandpaper, just clawing on it. The last couple of years, and I did miss last year, but I feel like 23 and 24. There seemed to be a little bit of just a touch, just enough on the gutter. You just needed it to wrinkle, and for those who could get it to wrinkle off the gutter, there was a little bit of success. I'm interested to see what it's like here and how things develop. Bradley is always that event too, just again talking to and witnessing it with my own eyes, where you bring some equipment that either you don't throw often or you don't care about not having anyone. Because, you know, once you go to the 30 grit, the 50 grit, the 80 grit, it's pretty much all she wrote for that bowling ball. That's a great story, Luke. That's a great story and also a tough lesson. This is definitely not the tournament that you necessarily buy a bowling ball for. Not saying it won't work. You know, now I'll just give an example, right? Let's say it was like a Zero Mercy solid, which has plenty of hook. So if you're bringing that, you know, and you started at factory or surface finish, whatever factory is, probably 1,000. You certainly could go lower than that with that ball, and I think you'd be okay. That'd be a good start. But that wouldn't be one you want to. You don't think you want to throw 10 grit on that. That's. Boy, there's a part of me that wishes I had saw that in person. Great go. Come on, James. 7-pin was mean to him, so spare puts him at 221. As you can see, Mike did finish out with 266. I'm going to go confirm if that's back-to-back 266. I thought he shot 267 to stay 1 pin ahead of Zach. Again, our lower end of the building looks like all done with game 2. Now, one group, I'm going to assume that this group 2 was also maybe just a little bit behind, because they're just in the game, I'm sorry, frame 6. All right, so we'll keep the attention rolling. After a couple more shots, we'll take it back to 13 and 14. And we can watch Zach Grove, who has 524 after 2. And at this point, Zach he's just trying to ensure a spot in the top 8. Yeah, the one thing about it here is if you lead after the 3 games, there is no, wait, I shouldn't say that. Maybe there is an extra prize, and I'll ask Jason Utchwall about that. Maybe the leader gets a few extra bucks. But he will bowl somebody, whoever it is, obviously, assuming, of course, he continues to strike and make the top 8. He's going to go and bowl somebody that probably will have an opportunity to strike as much as him. I said 698 was going to be 8th. I'm gonna go peruse a few score sheets and see what I come up with further down on the low end.
55? Try. I'm gonna try.
All right, folks, so here's what I've learned. A little reporting for you here. As great as Zach Grove has bowled, he is not leading, and that says a lot because Andrew Carpenter shot 258, 289 the first two. He's got 547 after two. These numbers might be higher than what we've seen at this tournament at Executive. And I thought those were pretty high. So we got a 547, a 533, a 524 after two. By the way, Stephanie, Keegan has 212, 259. .71 over at the moment. He's still got plenty of time to make that number. And Josh Lewis is not done yet. He shot 279 in game one. So everyone on our featured pairs within camera range is probably going to be done with game three pretty quickly. Everyone's moving right. Well, Zach needed that because there certainly is not a guarantee. Again, if you're watching the Fairchild Singles Shootout and you're wondering or were expecting lower scores, again, the Singles Shootout and the Double Shootout, which is tonight at 6 Eastern, are on house shots, are on the house shot. Tomorrow is where you will see individuals extremely frustrated. Well, there's some frustration actually right now. House shots will get you frustrated too, and I think if you bowl, you certainly know that. All right, here's Zach Grove right at your screen there. 6 into the 10. It's crazy to think, but it feels like he does have to shoot 250 just to make sure he's in. I think he's in with 230 personally. Honestly, he could probably even shoot, I think he shoot 2-0 and be fine. But it does, all of a sudden it feels like 720 might be a lower score. I don't want to forget about Gene here too, because he's got 236, 248. And with that shot, he will have a chance to shoot 237. I would really enjoy that those numbers in league. I'll take 721 in league. And now it feels like he's got to have them all just to have a chance to make the top 8. Double shootout, always fun too. You get a little bit of, especially when friends bowl against each other. Great shot again from Zach. Get a little bit of trash talking in the double shootout. I mean, but Brian Himmler and Rudy Revs are bowling together. I mean, that's just, you know, if you love bowling, that's a dream team. Worth the price of watching that. I have to do the old personal request. Hey, Jason, can we get Chief and Rudy Revs somewhere between 7 and 14, please, so we can watch them. That was nicely done there. All of a sudden, there's a few strikes being thrown on 11 and 12. And they could be developing the story. Alan Wachter, I see you, Alan. See if Alan's score sheet is nearby. Well, Alan's plus 30. He's got a chance to shoot 260. You never know. Another situation might need them all to make the number. Pretty sure Allen has bowled Bradley multiple times, at least in the ones that I have been to. Brett Miller's going to give himself a chance, possibly. And just as I say that, he leaves a weak 10. Here's Grove. Right there, not leaving the 7-10. Well, Jay Menifee, listen, anybody who can still shoot 290 or 280, if you're plus after the first two, you still have a chance. Good shot there from Jay in the bottom right of your screen. That might do it for his chances of advancement. All right, Gene's going to be in the 2-0s. and he'll be playing the waiting game. He will need a few players to kind of come back to the field. Nice split conversion. Yo, 2-8-10. How about that? The backup, too. That was impressive. Louis Pisano. I wonder, is that the same Pisano that bowls at Wisconsin Whitewater? All right, so Pisano finishes at 232. That was the same Louis, by the way. Well, Zach Grove is, it's not official, but he's going to be in the top 8. And if somehow, some way, there were actually 8 individuals who were better than Zach Grove in this 3-game set, then you just got to tip your cap, because with a strike here, he's going to be at 782. Those still bowling are going to be in the middle of the house. So it looks like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Maybe even 25 and 26. I still see bowling. We might be waiting for a little bit. Well, that was big for Allen. Again, you just don't know. He's going to give himself a chance. He was plus 30, and now he's in the 260s. Nice bowling. Put Allen in the wild card category. Well, somebody got to my number, 698. It was Allen. Luke, that's a good question. I don't believe, keyword or phrase being I don't believe. But I don't believe there are rules pertaining to the number of bowling balls that you can have at the at this tournament. So Allen's at 698, Zach Groves at 781. Don't want to assume, but we'll find out if Mike Moore is going to have enough. He had 533 after 2. Wait a minute, I'm seeing, hold on, let me double check. All right, so I just got word that the tournament is using Tournament Bowl. All right, appreciate that updated info from our staff. So we've got Tournament Bowl, and I'm going to drop that link in the chat. So, Stephanie, if you're still watching, Tournament Bowl is active. I just saw one of our scorekeepers have that up on the computer screen, which then made me think, well, let me go check out Tournament Bowl, and there it is. I don't know who created Tournament Bowl, but man, kudos to that individual or individuals. All right, so we got a couple of finals already. Ricky Carroll at 719. That feels like it should be good enough. We know Zach Groves in at 781, possible leader. Now we know that
hell, I don't know. Not the,
You were close.
I'm close.
You were close. Wow, Greco, okay.
Yeah, he said he gonna get his life together. That's He couldn't goddamn. He's like, I can't get the ball to go. I gotta get out this ball.
That's exactly what he told me.
I stepped away, and James Grego said, well, I'm 55 over, and I'm going to give myself the best opportunity. So Andrew Carpenter just edged out Zach Grove. So 782 for Carpenter. Grove's going to be at 781. Keegan Alexander at 697. Eugene Beeks, the second, at 689. That was a big shot there from Mike. It all but puts him in, Mike Moore. Hello, Robert. Appreciate you checking in. This one, or this Bradley, is indeed in Cincinnati. It's the new venue this year. The previous venue, Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky, unfortunately closed last year. But the tournament did have a final event at that venue last January. This year they keep it in the Strike and Spare family and move it to the historic Western Bowl, home of the Super Hoinky and the Hoinky Classic, which of course Hoinky Classic still going on. And the staff working in the Hoinky Classic tournament office. Big shout out to Devin, he's director of the Hoinky. Does a lot of great work, squad organizers, etc. Brad, I agree, man. Hate to see that the way it went down. Even though I had really only, there were so many other moments. And obviously, certainly if you live in Louisville, you know all about the true history of that bowling center. Grego, front nine. He said he had to get out of a particular bowling ball, and he knew exactly what he had to do. And just like that, Grego says, hold on a minute. Hold on a quick second, says James. Let's take a look at the standings again. Cool thing also about Tournament Bowl, standings do update essentially in real time. Right now, you got to throw, let's see, again, Grove. Unsure about Dawson Peterson. He might still be bowling. No. Josh Lewis is still bowling, though. He shot 279, 190, so he needs a game. And plenty of scores that aren't updated. Some open play going on down on the high end. 60-plus lanes here at Western Bowl. Get a chance to cover this event for Bowlstream TV. Please subscribe if you have not already. If we've got any new viewers and checking out Bowlstream TV for the first time. At the end of last year, I was able to get to 10,000 subscribers. So we're continuing that push. Got a couple more events actually on the schedule. So hit that subscribe button if you have not. Hit the thumbs up on this vid as well. We will have the top 8 bracket finals. That was an important announcement because there are a lot of scores missing. Speaking of Louisville, we had a 900 series. Over at Kingpin, shout out to the McCarthys who do a fantastic job. Eric Howard got it done. Meanwhile, James Grego trying to get it done for 300. I think the first one gets him into the top 8 at least. Oh my. Well, All right, 263 for James. Felt like he needed to have them all to have any chance. Well, I'm sorry, that would have got him 755. I thought the first one would have been the nail in the coffin, if you will. Now, 718 still feels pretty good. Right. Well, Gene was there. Gene was close. He was at 689. And now that James did what he did, he moves in front of Gene. So Grego is at 718.
Oh, man.
All right, so if you haven't refreshed, go ahead and give it a refresh. We've got Carpenter, Grove, Tyrell Ingalls, PBA Tour rookie, 744. Ricky Carroll at 719. Dawson Peterson at 701. Let me go turn the camera a little bit for you. Get you some more bowling as they finish up on 19 and 20 down there. So hang tight 1 sec. All right, we got some groups finishing up next door.
Oh, he's up there. Patrick Yates came? Yeah.
Jeff, well, sounds like you've been watching. So I said 698. Now, you guys have watched or listened to me call any bowling, whether it's here or Bowl TV. I cover a lot of the PWBA Tour and a half, or this will be season 10 coming up this summer. It's rare that you get a cut number right. I mean, now, at least for me, there are some others who are way smarter and have figured out the math and the science behind figuring out cut numbers. But I just felt like 698 was a good one. Like, you just almost had to shoot 700, so you had a couple of pins to wiggle with. Right now, again, that would be Allen, who did get to 698. So Keegan, right now, Keegan Alexander would be the first person out, if that is indeed right. Of course, Grego is in. So it looks like Keegan, again, if the numbers are correct, would be the first person out of the top 8. He went 212, 259, looked like he was right where he needed to be. And it's not like he shot bad. He added to his pin total. But because Alan Wachter shot 268, it looks like at the moment, that's going to be the number. We're going to have matches on 5 and 6, which will be just out of range. We'll have a match on 9 and 10, 13 and 14, 17 and 18. Our semifinals will be on 7 and 8, and 11 and 12. And then our championship match is going to be on 15 and 16. We got a really good group of young collegiate players who are bowling. Keegan is one, Dawson Peterson, Louis Pisano. Then we got former players, Tyrell Ingalls, Julian Salinas. And that's just the players that I know, not including the ones I don't. The other player to keep in mind here is still Josh Lewis. And Lewis is over on the right side. Let's see if I can turn that camera a little more. He's the only player left that looks like could have a chance at this. He's 69 over. And Josh Lewis, the best he could do was 692, and that's if he struck out. So that top 8 looks to be pretty set. Spicy indeed, says Mr. Devon, the director of the Hoinky here at Cincinnati or at Western Bowl. If you need to get that Hoinky entry in, you need to call this building and ask for Devon, and then he will get you taken care of. Especially if you've got like 5,800 teams coming on the weekend, he definitely will need to talk with you. I appreciate him. He is yeah, I've never had like a personal concierge, but that's what I feel like Devon has been for me. It's very rare that we get that kind of treatment in this business, but I appreciate that. My man has made sure I've been taken care of. He even helped me tape down some stuff today. Walked me around the building, see what I needed. Gave me some food recommendations. We will have him in the booth at some point this week or weekend, so then he can tell you all about himself. And truly, make sure you get those entries in the Twinkie. And for those still looking, we talked about the doubles still tonight. Plenty of opportunity. I can tell you what, now that you've seen what the Western Bowl house shot looks like, and maybe you're on the fence about bowling tonight, again, it's on the house shot. Looked pretty favorable from what we just witnessed. So, you know, grab your partner, do-si-do, and if you don't know who it is, it's Coolio. All right, looks like everybody is complete, so I would say about 10 minutes or so. I'd say give it about 10 minutes. We'll await the official announcement. Official announcement of the top 8. All right, so we will take a momentary break, but it shouldn't be very long. Looks like all of the score sheets from players are being taken down right now through, or 2, 1, and 2. That's where Justin is awaiting. That'll give me some opportunity to get you set up for what's next, and that is 4 first-round matches here in this top 8. We'll at least be able to give you 3 of them. We'll keep our eyes on 5 and 6. I'll make some moves on 9, 10, 13, and 14, and 17 and 18. All right, folks, hang tight. Top 8 is coming up next, right here on Bullstream TV. The Fairchild Singles Shootout, the first official event of the 2026 Bradley Open weekend. Again, doubles tonight, and the Bradley Open proper, the actual event, begins tomorrow morning. All right, folks, so it looks like I'm going to refresh Tournament Bowl. There are 3 scores not in. One of them was Josh Lewis. Again, Josh could not have gotten there. The best he could have done was 692. So it's Andrew Carpenter, Zach Grove, Mike Moore, Tyrell Ingalls, Ricky Carroll, James Grego, Dawson Peterson, and Alan Wachter. And I'm going to go ahead and put the top 8. Now it's officially official. Lewis finishes at 690. Eugene, he was right there. Beeks was at 689. Lance Moore, 688. I'll show you the top 30 here. And we'll go ahead and put that on the screen.
Brackets ready to be taken out, as well as high game pots and eliminator.
Looks like we have brackets, high game, and eliminator. It's a nice little side action opportunity there for the players. All right, on the screen there, not official yet, but that's what we believe it to be.
No, you do not. And it's, besides coming in tight, leaving a 4-9 for a righty, a lot of times you leave a 14 and you only play that for the machines. See, I think we had those old AMF pin setters. They were obsolete.
So according to this, it would be Andrew Carpenter would take on Alan Wachter. Zach Grove would take on Dawson Peterson. Mike Moore would take on James Grego. And Tyrell Ingles will face Ricky Carroll.
Top 8, they're cut. Top 8, 698. 698. Alan Walker.
This might be the first time in a long time. That might mean I need to play the lottery.
There are results.
It's been a while since I've successfully predicted a cut number,
You guys are wanting a copy.
basically as at the start of the tournament.
We'll get them right out to you for the top 8 for the bracket play. Thank you, guys.
Again, first place is a guaranteed $1,000, and if you do make the top 8, you now have cashed. So we got 8 cashers. Someone's going to win $1,000. So we will have the format, by the way. It will be single game elimination. So 1 game in the quarterfinals. There'll be 1 game matches in the semifinals. And then when we get to the finals, it will be best 2 out of 3. So the first player to win 2 games in the finals, final match, will win the 2026 Fairchild Singles Shootout.
Sweepers kind of fell apart. Sweepers have fell apart in our area. Whole central Kentucky area. You try to do a sweep.
So it should be just a few minutes. Some folks are obviously going to get their bracket monies. Any questions?
Our area period.
Jeff says, give me your, yeah. I do need to get a pick 4. Maybe we should just play 698, Jeff. I think we should start there. I think that's the play. 698.
I always give him a point.
All right, if you follow the Bowl Stream TV Facebook page, I'm going to upload the bracket.
Bowl, number 8 seed, Alan Walker on lanes 5 and 6.
Now the real kicker here would be if Alan Walker, with that 698 eighth place total to get him in, if he went on to win the tournament. Now that would put it over the top.
Zach Grove below your 7 seed, Dalton Peterson on 13 and 14. And your 3 seed, Mike Moore below your 6 seed, James Grego on 17 and 18. Give us a minute to get these lanes set up for you. When we turn you guys on for practice, you will get 5 minutes and we'll go straight into match play.
5 minutes of practice.
Will be a
One game matches until the final match.
moving on. That will continue until the championship match, which will be a best 2 out of 3. Again, give us a couple minutes to get your lanes configured and we'll get there ready to go. Thank you guys. Also, for any bowlers that are here that are interested in bowling doubles, please go ahead, see the pay window if you haven't already.
Go to the pay window.
That'll start around 6.
It's rare that you get an event that actually like truly has a pay window and or a bowling center, I should say, and they certainly do.
Thank you guys.
All right, so if you follow Bowlstream TV on Facebook, if you don't, please do. I did just post the official bracket. All right, so 13 and 14 is ready to go on our end here. We've got 17 and 18 also in play this round. Let's see, we'll make sure we get as many of these matches. And because they're going to go quick, it's only one game, of course. I'll tell you, cool people, now don't go anywhere. We got a champion to crown still. Well, I think if I heard that correctly, Zach Grove is going to be on 13 and 14. Now that could be trouble. He's going to bowl Dawson Peterson. What a matchup that is. That's a really good matchup. But honestly, it has nothing to do about the scores today, but they're just two really good bowlers. Now, if you throw in Zach Grove's totals, he went 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So he gets to hit a pair that he did bowl on, which helps him, certainly. That's going to be true for a couple, actually almost all of them. Especially those who may have made the turn down to the low end, because we are starting on with 5 and 6. Mike Moore got the number 3 seed. And actually, Mike Moore and James Grego were on the same pair. They crossed together. So now they got to bowl each other. I didn't get a chance to see Andrew Carpenter bowl, but he, when I went down to get some scores after game 2, he was down on the low end. I think he was about 3 and 4 or 5 and 6. We saw Alan Wachter finish on 11 and 12 with the big 268.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys good?
All right, here we go. 5 minutes of practice. I tell you, Peterson is just difficult because he's just a fantastic player. I don't know much about Zach Grove, but I know that he can play and shot 781 this morning. And so in one game, obviously anything can happen, but wouldn't shock me if we saw a 280 to 279 type of match on 13 and 14. Really any of these matches. Can't forget about Grego over there, who shot 260 to get himself in the number. I get 1 game elimination, single game elimination until the finals. And that is where you get the best 2 out of 3. Tyrell Ingles is going to be difficult to stop. He is taking on Ricky Carroll, who was one of the first players here this morning. Those of you who may be unfamiliar with Tyrell, let's get a good look at him. He went to Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD Savannah. He is in his rookie season on the PBA Tour. And the one match out of our range right now is the 1 versus 8. I'm not sure I realized that Alan Wachter was a 2-handed righty. It looked like he was just throwing it with his right hand when he shot the 268. 5 minutes is just about up. We'll start with the Grove-Peterson match because we watched a lot of Grove today. And to me, this match has got the most intrigue to start. You know, it feels like, right, you spend so much time in the first 3 games just trying to sprint to get to what effectively amounted to 698. And now, you know there's going to be some matches that are going to come down to somebody needing the first one in the 10th, 2 in the 10th, a 10-pin to win. And it looks like Dawson's wasting no time. They are complete with practice over there. First one, a good one for Dawson Peterson. He is in the Player of the Year conversation with respect to collegiate bowling. Bottom right of your screen there, you got Mike Moore, James Grego. This is the quarterfinals. You got 4 matches. We'll whittle this down to 2 matches. Then, of course, the championship match, Grove matches. First shot next door over to Tyrell Ingalls. Always had a very soft hand, did Tyrell. One of those things I was very impressed with him about. I'm gonna assume that we maybe trying to get the. Yeah, all right. Early double for Grove. Mike Moore went 7 spare. Grego coming up next, but first, Peterson. There's Grego, bottom right of your screen. I don't know what bowling ball he changed to. But it certainly was the winner. Oh, mercy. Thumbs up indeed, Dawson. Understood. Understood. Goodness. All right, he'll take care of that 8-pin. Grego did start with a double. Grego, excuse me. Mr. Carroll starts with a double next door. And we'll see if Tyrell will go first here. He will. So let's check in on Ingalls. That's 2-8 for Tyrell. We'll go over to Peterson. You just tell this match is going down to the 10th frame. Good pacing here. That's helpful for me. It allows you that we can go to several matches. We'll check in on the Grego. In fact, let's do it right now. There's James. Mike Moore opened up with 260, 260. Bottom right there, Zach Grove did strike. Grego now with the front four here to open up things against Mike Moore. Andrew Carpenter just got a double messenger on the 7 and the 10, and he's got a small advantage over Andrew Wachter. Front four for Carpenter, front 3-9 spare for Alan Wachter. Let's see Mike Moore throw a shot here. Peterson did strike. And anybody, someone just, Mr. Carroll, Ricky Carroll just had the first split by any player as Mike Moore continues. So as you might expect, very good matches to start to open up things, very good shots. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Please share this Fairchild Shootout. We got every event already scheduled, of course, doubles tonight, and then Bradley officially kicks off. What a break that was. Bradley officially kicks off tomorrow. This is essentially, these events are effectively the appetizers. Look at the menu, pick something that looks appeasing to get your meal started right, properly. And that's what you got here, especially if you can make a few extra dollars. Now back over to Ingles. Struck in the 4th on the right lane. Did not like that one. But the ball says otherwise. Back to Grove and Peterson. Oh my. Wow, Zach Grove really starting to see a little bit of maybe some extra friction. He's gone high now twice, and both times on the right lane. Something to keep in mind. Left side to Carroll. Feels like Ricky's going to need them all after that open in the 4th. And Grove misses the 3-9-10 first to open in that match. And the winner will take home $1,000. But every player who did advance to the top 8 has cashed. Well, folks, it looks like Andrew Carpenter pretty clear between he and Zach Grove, both shooting 782 and 781 respectively. Carpenter now has the front 7. The Wachter keeping pace. Grove did get strike back in the 6th frame. So Carroll with the 4-pin will go down now to Mike Moore as Grego continues. He's got the front 6. Allen just went Brooklyn and left a 6-pin, and it feels like that might be more than enough for Carpenter to step up, maybe throw 2 more. Not over yet down there, but maybe inching closer. So Moore, 7th frame working, great shot, in a battle. His max score is 269. Over to Dawson Peterson. Ingles off camera. And Dawson Peterson with a big double. Pardon my sniffles. Tyrell has struck in 6 out of the first 7. And he is taking it to Ricky Carroll. Oh, and Zach Grove needed that one. First miss by Carpenter down on 5 and 6. Right now that max would be 279, assuming he makes the spare. Alan Wachter can still shoot 258, so still plenty of opportunity here, but it's going to be up to Carpenter to give Alan a chance. Oh, wow. That one felt like an absolute must strike. Speaking of must strike. Now Mike Moore, as you can see, James Grego continuing. He's got the front 8. Mike Moore now with the bucket, and it's looking like Grego slowly but surely perhaps advancing. Ricky Carroll's got to have something good happen. He needed that one. His max score is 230. Peters can step up in the 8th and 9th here, and wow. That was actually going to, of course, be the opposite of what I was going to say. He could step up and somewhat lock it up. But I thought this would be the most intriguing match. Certainly you don't anticipate splits and such, but, you know, 3 games, there's certainly some transition. And I think the right lane of the 2 is hooking more. Over to Grego. Now looking for the front 9. He had the front 9 in the previous game. Ended up shooting 263. Can he close the deal this time? And Peterson unable to make the spare. So all of a sudden, this is a 2-pin match between Peterson and Grego. I'm sorry, Peterson and Zach Grove, I beg your pardon. Grego's going to win his match, but right now it's all about the honor score. Front 10 for James. Back over to Dawson. Tyrell Ingles is all but locked up his match. Closest match right now, Peterson, Grove, 13 and 14. Ninth frame. Just slightly behind the head pin. Grego looking for 11 in a row, and there it is. And Dawson missed the 10 pin. So his max now is 202. Zach Grove is going to finish the match first, so it is completely now in his hands. Completely. Zach's going to go. We'll get you back to James Grego here in a moment. Big shot, 9th frame. The hooking lane. Probably made the move there and leaves the 2-5. Moment belongs now to James Grego. For perfection. Bang. James Grego had the front 9 in the previous game. Seals the deal this time against Mike Moore. They hug it out. Grego is going to advance. Meanwhile, Grove hooked at that 2-5. I appreciate the him hooking at that. You know, you can obviously chop the 2-5 in so many different ways, whether you hook at it or shoot straight at it. Well, Ricky Carroll has put some pressure on Tyrell Ingles. Good count here. He will force Tyrell to mark in the 10th frame. Ooh. Okay, Mr. Grove. So now there's a possibility of a tie. If he strikes there and spares on the fill, he could win by 1. Now there's a possibility of a tie. First, he's got to make it. He does. Over to Tyrell. Oh, my. Uh-oh. That was strange. No doubt about it. He has to make this. The finish from Carroll and the good count, importantly, he got 8 or better, which was fantastic. That was impressive. Again, not the easiest of spares. Not the easiest of spares whatsoever. A nice job by Carroll to throw the back 5. So now Dawson Peterson got a chance to perform here in the 10th frame. He needs all 3 in the 10th. It would be a 9th and 10th frame roll-off if they do tie here. Peterson, first one in the 10th. He will wrap a 10, and Zach Grove will advance. Some intriguing matchups. But we have 4 winners. Andrew Carpenter, Tyrell Ingles, Zach Grove, and James Grego. Next matches are going to be on 7 and 8 and 11 and 12 respectively. So we'll turn our camera here. We'll get 11 and 12 all situated. Boy, that Ingles Carroll match closer than it certainly looked like at first. But that's a good lesson, right? Always a lesson in something. You know, you can get up there and assume that you've got a match one, but you can never assume, especially when your opponent, especially as good as one as Ricky Carroll, throws the back 5. And then to make the, what was that, the 2, 4, 5, 7? Still one game.
soda's still on the approach.
Hey, Zach James, it says 5 minutes up there, 2 balls on each lane. I already told him 2 balls on each lane.
All right, so we got a little bit of a cleanup down on 11 and 12. It looks like Carpenter and Ingalls are about ready on 7 and 8. All right, so while we wait for that item to conclude, we'll start with Ingalls. That's unfortunate too. You know, we've all been there. You get to a particular pair, and all of a sudden, it's there's something there that perhaps either wasn't there before, not noticed in a particular spot. Meanwhile, Carpenter, what feels like maybe for the first time, he starts slow, and that's simply because he didn't strike. Andrew Carpenter, 258, 289, 235. And he shot 279 in his opening match. His low game today through 4 games is 235. Looks like we should be about ready to get going on 11 and 12. They will have their practice shots, however. They didn't get those. Well, I think they had one, if any. But someone did do their due diligence, like always, and to get to a new pair, check the approaches. So after the open, Carpenter strikes. Meanwhile, Tyrell Ingles. Looks like a ball change, at least something different we haven't seen in a while. Certainly not today for Zach Grove. Two really good shots there from Tyrell. Now Carpenter with trouble on this right lane. Start to think now I'm thinking, I'm curious if there were any additional lefties. I don't think Grego, for example, moved in that direction. Super wash out. All right, so we're moving over to 9 and 10. So with that said, I'll need to make the old adjustment on the fly here. So give me a moment. Won't be too long. Just need to turn this enough. Right, so now we've got, of course, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Grego and Grove move over to 9 and 10. Just couldn't get whatever was happening or whatever stain, spill, etc. was at the foul line. Right where Grego was slotting, so the tournament staff allowed them to, or suggested the move over to 9 and 10. So meanwhile, Carpenter with a huge double. And now with some additional confidence, right? Because he went open on the left or the right lane, excuse me, to start. And just like that, puts up the 3-bagger after Tyrell missed the single pin in the 4th. Now actual competition here for James Grego, who just shot 300. So he's got 13 in a row now on a couple of pairs here. I think he got a chance to, just the way the bracket went, he bowled on 7 and 18, where he had the front 9 in the previous game. Oh, I'm sorry, game 3. And now that one does not get up the hill. Tyrell had a couple of shots in practice, obviously 2 shots on the right lane or on each lane. His first shot on the right lane, he gave that same reaction because the ball did something kind of similar. Oof, Grove, vicious 9-pin. Get out of town. Thank you. Appreciate you. I think it's going to be a little bit slower from the aspect of pace now that the groups are bowling next to each other. Oof, oof. What a break that was for Zach Grove. And Grove ended up shooting 202 in his match against Dawson Peterson. Boy, Carpenter, I don't know much about Andrew Carpenter, but I think I'm about to find out more this weekend. Showing the resolve early after a tough start on the right lane specifically. It's the only lane he's missed on with 2 opens, and he is back on it with 5 in a row. He's got 243 max quickly after it looked like he had given Tyrell Ingles a full head start. He had plenty of runway, did Ingles, and now that airstrip is dwindling quickly. Had to have it. This PBA Tour rookie class is so good. Obviously, you know, if you miss Brandon Bonta, you know, open up the CW, the PBA on the CW as a new network, new media partner, in the best possible way as a network you could ever open up a show or have a first show. You know, Bonta, and I don't want to play spoiler, but at this point, it's, if you have not seen it, well, something's wrong. But Brandon Bonta shoots 300 in the title match. He ran the ladder, beat EJ Tackett. Oh, and Ingles with trouble. But the point here is Ingles is a part of this rookie class that includes the Brandon Bontas. Julian Salinas, who is bowling against Salinas and Tyrell, were teammates. They're rookies this year on tour. They also are now bowling this weekend here at the Bradley. Zach Grove gets the 5-pin out. Tyrell needs to have that one, cannot get it in the 9th. 3 open frames in the last 6. And what looked like maybe Tyrell at the spare double and the open strike open situation for Carpenter, looking like Tyrell, okay, with a couple more good shots, was going to certainly not only be in the lead, but maybe run away with the match. Carpenter says, no, sir. Meanwhile, Grove, big double there. Carpenter able to try another something in the 9th frame. Boy, Andrew Carpenter looks like the type of player who goes about his business, doesn't really get phased much. And you talk about pace of play, he doesn't waste much time. Picks up the bowling ball, he steps on the approach, and he's ready to go. And Grego's run ends at 15 in a row. Two hiccups. You know, if your mom told you, your grandmother told you, you should hold your breath for 10 seconds if you got the hiccups. I feel like that's what Andrew Carpenter did. He had 2 hiccups in the 1st and 3rd frame, both on the right lane, held his breath for 10 seconds. Hiccups went away, and he went back to striking. Somebody tell me a little bit more about Andrew Carpenter. Is he bowled collegiately? How old is he? Like, what's the deal here? Because when it looked like he was going, we were talking about his low score being 235, and obviously the start maybe looked like that was going to be his absolute lowest game. We see Grego here with another one. Now all of a sudden the guy rallies to shoot 232. 258, 289, 235, 279, 232. The first 3 games qualifying, he led qualifying by 1 pin over Zach Grove, 782 to 781. Then Carpenter shoots 279 his opening match against Alan Wachter, then 232 against Tyrell Ingles. And Ingles tries to see what it's like on the left side of the lane. Of course, as a two-handed righty. His friend, former teammate, and now current or fellow PBA Tour rookie, Julian Salinas, you know, outside of Anthony Simonson, Salinas, yeah, he's got to be like top 3 with respect to throwing the backup ball as a two-handed righty. Grove. The 7 and the 10 to go, and we got ourselves another really very good match here. Max scores right now for both Grove and Grego. 280 for Grove, 279 for Grego. That's the pace we're on here in this match. It was supposed to be on 11 and 12. There was a stain or spill that was right in the slotting spot of James Grego, the hooking lefty, sliding near the right gutter. Staff came down, just couldn't quite get it all up. And so staff conferred, elected to allow them to move over to 9 and 10. And Grove does not miss. So it's going to be Andrew Carpenter versus either Grego or Grove. Again, Grove was technically the number 2 seed, Grego the 6th seed. See it. Bang. It took about what? Let's see, for Grove, his lowest game happened on 13, or took place on 13 and 14. Tough match against Dawson Peterson that he did win 202-181. Started to see some transition, a little bit more friction, specifically on the right lane. This pair looks like it's been the same for both players since we started. And now Grego in a must-strike scenario. Give himself still a chance, perhaps. There it is. Winner will receive $1,000, and that's the winner of this tournament. But we're trying to get to the final match right now. We don't know who it's going to be yet. Zach Grove is trying to get there, and since he's going to finish first, right now he does control his own destiny. If he does not strike, it changes here. And a 4-pin. Boy, that non-strike there, that was a must-have. Grove trying to make it a 1 versus 2 situation. Now still important here, because if he can throw all 3 in the 10th, that puts him at 259. And that would force Grego to get the first one in the 10th frame. 9 spare strike for Grego would be 258. At least a double here from Zach Grove. And obviously, you got to take your chances and throw a good shot on the fill. One at a time, though. Push. 4-pin again. 2 4-pins. It looked like Grove had been kind of inching a little closer. Inching further left. Maybe, just maybe, cut it a little short. So he's going back-to-back 4-pins. Got to make it. All right, so still not over. I'll mark here for Grego. I mean, 9 out here is 246. So again, count was very important there, but situation is simple for James. Any kind of mark with respect to good count. He is going to advance to face Andrew Carpenter, and we'll have a lefty versus lefty championship match down on 15 and 16 for $1,000. Here it is. Bang. Boy, he ran that thing out. He knew it. But how about Grego? Looked like he might have been out after a couple of games. 235, 220, needed a big game. Had the front 9 in game 3. Shoots 263 to get to 6th. Then opens up competition. He shoots 300 versus Mike Moore. And now, big time matchup, strike for strike basically. And he comes through again, this time against Zach Grove. Grove is going to finish in that third, fourth spot. So lefty versus lefty, but I guess two-handed lefty versus one-handed lefty for those truly scoring at home. Get your scorebooks out. I tell you what, I've had fun with more about so far what we've seen. You know, house shots can be tricky. There doesn't seem to be a ton of trickiness about this Western Bowl house shot. I would enjoy bowling league here.
Moving forward is your number 1 seed, Andrew Carpenter, versus your 6th seed, James Grego, on 15 and 16.
All right, we're headed over to the championship match, 15 and 16.
15 and 16. We'll turn you guys on for get 2 balls on each lane. I'll come down and talk to you guys, make sure that that's good with the time difference there, and we'll get you started.
What ball you throwing?
The Evil Eye.
Well, I don't know what, see if I can figure out what ball Andrew Carpenter is throwing. I mean, he's just been throwing darts. They look like darts. They're going so fast, and then they truly explode when his ball gets to the pins.
Yeah, he's been killing it all day.
And there's a new voice in the booth. Many of you know that voice. It's the one and only Jason Utchwall here, our tournament director of the weekend here at the Bradley Open. Jason, first of all, how you doing? Congrats. Happy belated birthday. You've been super busy, driving all over the country, giving cool birthday presents. So how you feeling?
Tired. Tired. That's my normal response. A year older, a little bit fatter, and a little bit more tired than normal.
We appreciate you for doing all of what you do, certainly. And obviously a little bit of a different feel all around, right? Some different things, I'm sure, for you as well. But, you know, shout out to Western Bowl, part of the Strike and Spare family.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, definitely a different change of scene. Had to make a little bit of a move. Executive, unfortunately, was closed down, and, you know, we hate to see that go, but having an opportunity to come to a different city and hosted by Strike and Spare and Dave and all of his wonderful staff, and you know, bowling another iconic facility is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been in here. I did bowl a Hoinky. I think I've been saying 2013-ish. And
It's a little while.
Yeah, but I bowled several times here collegiately.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Hoinky Bearcat Classic is still hosted here, but
I don't think it is.
that was a staple tournament. It was early January.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I know they used to have it, and I think a couple years ago it went away. But I know that you know, from speaking to Dave, he's proactively looking to host any and all tournaments that he could really.
Seems like a good. You know, you're familiar with the Mid-South. Seems like a good area for Mid-South bowling, right?
Yeah, yeah. Get to watch it a little bit more next year. My son's going as well, so.
Is he really?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
17. Yeah, graduates this year already.
You know, I didn't get a chance to see him last year, but I did see him at Junior Gold.
Yeah.
And I noticed the height sprouting. If you will.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
So we got our championship match. They've had their 2 balls on each lane. James Grego. I'm not sure which bowler is hotter, but if you had to really look at the scores, it would be James Grego at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's hard to say considering how good both of them have been scoring.
I mean, Carpenter's low game is still 232. Again, this is including the 3 games of qualifying, 2 games in match play in the bracket. Again, 782 to start, 279, 232, and now out the gate, back like he never left.
And that's kind of like James, though. His low game's 220, but out the gate he goes 300, 268.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
he shot 263 in game 3 of qualifying. He had the front 9 in.
Yeah.
I think he made that change to Axum. He's throwing an evil eye. He talked about getting out of a ball that wasn't working for him in game 2. He was trying to get some 7 pins out. He made a ball change. Unsure if it was the evil eye, but it feels like it because he's got 263, 300, 268.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
Good Lord.
I mean, what's that, 830?
Casually. And the 6 pin. So what else is on tap, of course, this weekend? Jason, obviously we got the doubles tonight, and still, folks, if you are in the area, still taking walk-ins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the doubles is tonight, checking at 6, starts at 7, 110 a person, 220 a team, 2,000 for first place. Still plenty of room and availability. You know, I know that Cincinnati and the surrounding areas are full of great bowlers, so come out and beat up on this house shot like the other guys have been doing today and take home some good money.
It does look favorable.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I
don't know if it'd be as favorable tomorrow.
Correct.
You know, but
We're talking about the house shot.
yeah,
Grego.
he's rolling.
So
I think he's kind of started where he finished last year. If you remember the last game he shot last year at the Bradley was 299.
was it really
Yes.
in the actual Bradley?
Yes.
Or really?
Yes.
Now, I missed last year because
My date
we had to
changed.
change the date.
My date changed.
And
yeah.
you're talking about 40th birthday trips. My wife turned 40 last year, which
There
is
we
why
go.
I
Yep.
was not able to make it.
Yep.
But we
Yeah.
didn't drive to where did we go? Punta Cana?
There's no driving to
Cabo,
that one.
Los Cabos. we
That's
went
another
to
one.
Cabo.
Yeah, we're kind of Disney fans. We go when we can, when we can afford to go. And I've always wanted to take my wife to the art festival, and it just, with the college schedule and everything else going on from January to February, it's pretty tough to find an open date. And it just ironically fell in the lap of a good weekend, and we were celebrating her 40th birthday on my 46th birthday. So,
Good question, Jeff, in the chat. This is where the format and the bracket does change. It is best now 2 out of 3.
correct.
So it's the first player to win 2 games as opposed to just the single game elimination as it had been in the previous 2 rounds.
Yep. Try to make it a little bit more interesting. This quality of field and quality of the bowlers that are bowling all weekend, really, whether it's local or people coming in or pro or really good area players. Sometimes someone has one bad game, so, you don't want to penalize them in the final, give them an opportunity to see how you can make it work. And more often than not, I think it's typically goes to 3 games a lot of the time. I've seen a couple 2-0s before.
Well, you don't want to speculate, but the way Andrew came back, he's looking at his bowling ball, maybe some around the grip area, and it just gave the impression that he would be considering throwing something different.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed a different ball.
Meanwhile, Grego with the 8-pin. What an interesting stat. So he shot 299 in his last game at the Bradley.
Yeah.
Did he make the cut?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's impressive. So to this point, He had 9 strikes in game 3 of qualifying, all 12. First matchup in the bracket. 8 strikes in the semifinals, and now starts with the front 3. So that is 32.
Yeah.
32 strikes in 1, 2, 3, now 3 1/4 games. The interesting thing was I talked about when we started this, and I always like James because I can appreciate a good lefty who can hook it.
Yeah.
I truly can. I love lefties in general. I know some people, that's a whole different thing. I love lefties, and I love lefties that can hook it. It's cool to me that they can make the big jump right and wheel and deal. And he was one of the first players we saw this morning. But his look has gotten better and better, and I'm guessing with the ball change as well. Now the question here is for Andrew. Well, it looks like I don't know if he certainly doesn't, maybe not want to throw whatever he was throwing. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Well, he's got what he's looking for.
Yeah, making the change.
Again, best 2 out of 3. Which now certainly feels like doesn't really matter for Andrew Carpenter. Do you know much about him?
No, I don't. I think he's local for Cincinnati. I think he is.
Okay.
James, I've got to know obviously over the last couple of years for the Bradley and different events, and he's always bowled really well.
This is the championship match, best 2 out of 3. Bracket finals, number 1 seed Andrew Carpenter, 6th seed James Grego, working their way through the respective bracket ladder.
Nice.
And Grego just making copies out there. Best 2 out of 3. Some players and fans enjoy total pinfall. Have you ever done total pinfall in this?
No. We've done. I think we've done the 2 out of 3 for a while. Like I was talking to a gentleman that's bowled the Bradley in the past and used to bowl there was like 2 rounds of the singles shootout in the past, way back when I first started it. And we took that away after a couple years, and well, that's a split.
Whoa.
Yeah, I remember the first year we switched it to the doubles, and it was still at Eastland. And I was asked about why switching it to doubles, because there was a good thing, and the singles shootouts or sweepers were going pretty well, and I'm like, it's more people, it's doubles, and people enjoy it. And
nice.
Wow, it's a good cover.
Well done, Grego.
And the doubles has been there ever since. And then it's really Kurt Pelon was the one that brought up the single shootout, this one that we're doing right now. He was saying everyone came into town early, they'd come in on Thursday, have nothing to do on Friday morning. And I'm like, if you guys want to do a single shootout, we'll roll a single shootout out there and see what people want to do. And it's, I think for 12 o'clock sign up, 1 o'clock start, 40, 50, 60 people, whatever we normally average, is a pretty good turnout for 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday.
Look at that nice little conversion there. 3-7. And Carpenter just gets back in the rhythm. Man.
He's running them now.
That he did the same thing in the previous match against Tyrell Ingles. He went open on the right lane. He went open, strike, open. And it looked like, Tyrell's got a nice runway.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, right to take off. He started spare double. Then he missed a single pin in the 4th. Carpenter figured it out, made a ball change on that right lane, and he got back to doing what he had been doing all day. Just that wraparound 7-pin. So 20, 50, 80, 19, 240.
That means that Andrew's got the advantage.
249 the max for Carpenter, and it just changes so fast. Just on a dime.
Yep. 46 to 49, right?
Yeah, it changes so quick, like a good point guard who can shift quickly. Such a historical venue. It's only fitting, you know, if and obviously you had no plans of moving to Bradley.
Correct.
You had no choice,
No.
unfortunately, in the matter. But if you were going to move, it certainly what another historic venue where if the walls could talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, you know, Dave Severs, the GM here, has done a great job, and you know, transforming the center and bringing back a lot of the history and memories. Some ideas that he's got coming up for bar and decorations and everything else, like paying homage to a lot of events and people and bowlers that have bowled here. I think it's just super fitting for the facility, you know, and then, you know, being fortunate enough to host this here, you know, it's not the super hoinky, but it's, you know, kind of the idea of marquee tournament that's paying big money for scratch players. So it kind of ties in with that.
Right.
You know, and then they've always got the regular hoinky tournament that runs here as well. And, you know, you can't argue with 1,000 teams that participate in bowl for anybody that wants to participate in it.
So many similarities, too, when you think about the two centers. And obviously, Executive was a longtime host of the Derby.
Yeah.
As well, and the hoinky has similar, you know, events from that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that as well. You know, the almost parallels, like you're saying, from one to the other. You know, the choosing to host the Bradley there, having the super hoinky here, having the hoinky here, having the Derby there. You know, two different locations, two iconic facilities, two big tournaments at both places, and
within 2 hours.
Yeah.
And maybe depending on where you live in Louisville, less than 2 hours.
True.
What a huge double that was for Carpenter. So now, if he gets 9 on the fill, at least, that's going to force Grego to get the first one in the 10th to win this first game.
Yep. And in the 5th frame, I don't think anyone would have thought that was going that way.
If you, in a best out of 3 scenario, if they tie in the first game, is it just a half?
Yes.
Okay. $228. I gotta tell you, I would not like to bowl. Well, I would like to bowl as a competitor.
Yeah.
Bowl against Andrew Carpenter, because it's clear that dude wastes no time. He gets on the approach and he is about business.
Yep.
That's the kind of players you want to bowl with as competitors and against. Grego.
Oh, tapped.
Wow. All right, and so for momentary, he is going to lose just a little bit of momentum, and Carpenter will take game 1.
And that's 2 7-pins on that lane for the last 2 times out. See if he changes anything or makes a little move.
Now, from this chair, right, as when you're watching people like that, you go, whew, well, I feel bad for these opponents, that Carpenter and Grego, for this matter.
Yeah.
In the booth with Jason Utchwald, the tournament director here at the Bradley. New venue, new location this year in 2026. And so far already off to a very good start with the Fairchild Shootout. For those who don't know, Jason, talk a little bit about why this tournament is so important, who it's named after, and how, it's not just about, obviously guaranteed $1,000, which is great.
Yep.
If you make the top 8, you make money. But you guys are doing something with a portion of the entry fees. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Mike Fairchild was a longtime bowler and winner of the Bradley Open. I got to know Mike. I'd say he's a friend of mine at Eastland. Unfortunately, we lost him early to a brain aneurysm. I thought that it was personally fitting to name one of the events after him. I asked his family if we could do that. They were gracious enough to allow us to do that. And we wanted to take some of the proceeds and send that in for aneurysm research. You know, I think that as bowlers, we've all lost people unexpectedly or early. And if there's a little bit that we can give back for that, you know, while honoring Mike's memory, that's the little thing we can do.
I feel like, you know, aneurysms, unless you know someone or, you know, experienced it yourself or know someone who's had it, many people may be unfamiliar.
Yeah.
But they are just as impactful and devastating,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, as other items, diseases, et cetera, that we go through.
Yeah, I think that, you know, like I said, as bowlers, as whether it's participants or spectators, I think we've probably, whether it's you or I or anyone else that's on the chat or listening or watching that are here, that have probably lost someone to something unexpected, like I said, unexpected, you know. And, you know, to know a person and have that loss unexpectedly, like I said, we just wanted to do something little, our little part of it. You know, being able to, like I said, honor Mike's memory with the tournament being named after him. You know, I'm appreciative for that. You know, it's like I said, the little thing that we could do.
If you're joining us late here, you're watching the title match of the Fairchild Singles Shootout. My name is Emil Williams Jr. with Bullstream TV. We've got the tournament director here at Bradley, Jason Utchwall, in the booth. It's best 2 out of 3. Top seed Andrew Carpenter versus 6th seed James Grego. Grego had a ton of momentum, as did Carpenter. They each have had their own small little bouts with adversity. But Grego had an opportunity to win game 1. It's best 2 out of 3 for the finals. Carpenter threw all 3 in the 10th for 228, forcing Grego to get the first one in the 10th. He could not. So now Grego on the other side of it. And also losing a little bit of down lane ball reaction at the same time.
Yeah, he's getting tapped a little bit. I mean, he threw that first one and got a good break, and then in the second frame had another tap 7.
And now it's one of those situations where he doesn't have a lot of time considering the opponent.
Yeah, he's actually going to have to do what Andrew did last game. It's either going to be a ball change or a move, which it looks like a ball change.
Yeah, he's hustling.
Yep.
And I ain't talking about Rick Ross.
Yep, ball change. No mercy.
It's hard to tell. It's got a little bit more grayish to it. It could certainly be a no mercy pearl.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the new hammerheads might be in that color scheme as well. Let's see if whatever it is gets the job done. And it does.
It does.
See, that's knowing your equipment right there. That is knowing your equipment. If I can get a good look at it, it looked like I'm gonna go on a limb and say it was a zero. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, was it zero mercy? Pearl.
Andrew's not backing off either, though. So.
And that's the thing, man. When he reminds me of both of these players, but this match. But watching Carpenter conduct himself in this bracket, you've watched players at the highest level, PBA or PWBA, and when you see a player who just comes right at you, they're very difficult to beat.
Yeah.
And when James has made no mistakes. He's just had some down lane carry of 2 frames.
I agree.
But it might be too late. Because if he can carry that.
Right.
Speaking of Carpenter, he's got the front 5, and it looks, man.
And the thing with that as well is he made that ball switch, and it was effortless. It was grab the ball, go, throw it. You know, not that James just didn't do that on the last shot.
And I was going to say, right, both players
Right.
have know their equipment for sure. As a bowler, I mean, we all struggle with that. But at that level. So it makes guys
Roll
like
it.
that
There we
had
go.
to have it.
He had to have it.
That's what makes guys like that pretty darn good. It took a little long, but James certainly appreciates the help.
Oh, yeah. Late tap on that 7. He needed it. Honestly, I think he's going to need them all out from here.
Trying to cut this deficit. Looks good, maybe. Oh,
I just tipped up.
now the big 6. Again, double shootout tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Check-in is at 6. 7 p.m. Eastern. Check-in at 6.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I was trying to say to talking to a couple guys earlier.
It's spare.
Again, it's on the house shot this evening. I'd be shocked if anyone's not available. If you're available on Friday night to come out and bowl when you normally bowl, whether it's here or any other local center. Kind of crazy to miss for 2,000 for first place. Everyone's got a shot.
Unless you're bowling Andrew Carpenter.
Yeah, right now.
If he's bowling doubles or whoever he bowls with.
He is bowling doubles this evening.
Well, I got it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get a look at Carpenter. We got to hurry up, too. The guy bowls so fast. Nice drop shoulder to start. Gets it into it to swing pretty quickly. Gets those feet moving.
Yep.
And I saw someone mention or talk about the contrast in styles between the two lefties. Obviously, two-handed lefty, one-handed lefty.
Yep.
And the run ends at 6. But they are doing it differently. Obviously, Greco covering more of the lane. Less ball speed. Carpenter keeping his angles relatively in front of him, especially in comparison to James with higher ball speed, very firm.
Yeah, I get to watch a two-handed lefty a lot. My son's a two-handed lefty. So, you know, completely the opposite of my daughter that you've seen bowl enough.
Can't believe Cyrus is headed to college.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so this I'll have the unique opportunity to watch them both bowl at Pikeville next year.
How about that? How about that? Well, at least you and your family, unlike other parents who have kids at multiple schools, don't have to figure out, to some degree, but don't have to figure out who's going where, when. There'll be some double centers, obviously.
Yeah. It's kind of been like that this year, though. You know, she's bowling in college. This was his last year of high school, so he's kind of all over the place. And, you know, as you know, he's been through a lot of stuff. He bounced back from a tumor in his femur and another broken bone and just grounded out to get back to where he was. So, you know, super proud of him in general, but to put in all that work and bounce back that's a lot of perseverance. But yeah, it'll be a little bit more relaxing, at least driving from one closer center to another to watch him bowl.
That was a huge double from Grego. Well, he's going to need a little bit of help from Carpenter.
Yeah.
Will Andrew give it to him? And
a little bit.
There's a little small, just a small little bit of help.
Yeah, I mean, he still definitely got the advantage there. I mean,
back score right now would be 268, including the spare. Grego can only get to 245. So it's going to need to really have an open frame at some point for Carpenter to really give James the opportunity. But Grego's going to finish the match first. So at very least, he'll be able to apply.
Put the score up.
Right. As much pressure as he possibly could, even though sometimes it's not really pressure when you got the lead on the bench.
True. That 6 count will make more of a difference than we thought.
9th frame. And, all right, week 7. Okay. So Grego knows what he has to do. Boy, you just mentioned it too. That thankfully, right? But no one wants to shoot that spare. But he did take care of the 2, 4, 7, 8.
Yeah. Still though, you know, James can go sheet for 45 and Andrew only has to go 9 spare strike. Excuse me.
Grego must have. Oh. 2, 4, 7. And that was the one.
Yep.
He makes it. Still looking at 222. And it would have to be something catastrophic in the 10th frame for Andrew Carpenter at that point.
Yeah.
That was his shot. That was the one.
I mean, even something catastrophic's not going to do it, I don't think. I mean, even Greek Church gets you there. Well, roll a 4-pin.
Wonder what, of course, James is thinking right there. You know, I certainly don't watch him bowl enough to say, but obviously in those moments sometimes we can all, you know, get a little grabby.
Yeah.
At the bottom. Doesn't take away how well he has thrown it for the last, well, really all day.
Yeah.
But specifically the last 5 games.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Dating back to game 3 of qualifying and into the bracket. Let's see. Mentioned 32 strikes between games 3, 4, 5, and then the front 3 of the previous game. Oh. Official's going to be 217. So today, James Grego, 718 this morning, 300, 268, 225, 217. He bowled 6 games. Oh, wow. Now, of course, you know, Andrew had the match locked up. To me, that looked like he was throwing that like a normal shot, certainly. But, you know, based on what you saw, the week 7, I think his look was starting to go away as well. Nonetheless, 234. Andrew Carpenter is the Fairchild Singles Shootout Champion. The top seed, who shot 782 for his first 3 games of qualifying, or the only 3 games, I should say, goes through the bracket unfazed. Averages 250.71 on the day. Congrats to James Grego as well, the runner-up. James, of course, on the left. Andrew on the right. Luke, that was he was the GM indeed at Executive. He's also been the tournament director of the Bradley for shoot, I don't know how many years at this point. All right, so with that said, Andrew is, as you heard it here from Jason Utchwald, Andrew is also bowling doubles tonight. And boy, if today is any indication of what's going to happen tonight or what could happen tonight, we know what Carpenter can do. We'll see what his partner can produce as well, and see if they, as a duo, can return back to the bracket. James Grego, by the way, who shot 300 in the opening match here in the bracket, averages 246.85 for his 7 games. Excellent run. And with that said, folks, that's going to do it for the Fairchild Singles Shootout. That's a heck of a start to the weekend. Heck of a start to today. And we've got the double shootout coming up in just about 2 hours and 15 minutes. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the scheduled time, of course, for the doubles shootout. It'll be the exact same format except doubles, but 3 games of qualifying on the house shot. Top 8 teams will advance to the bracket, and we'll have it for you right here on Bowlstream TV. Go ahead and subscribe, turn your notifications on so you will know when we go live each and every time out. Tonight we'll close it out with doubles, and then tomorrow morning we will begin the Bradley Open proper with A squad. Of course, $10,000 guaranteed to the Bradley Open champion here in the year 2026. I'm going to go ahead and drop the double shootout link so you can have it. Go ahead and open up or click it, open it up, put it in the tab already so you know what you're looking for. And again, subscribe and we'll take care of that for you as well. I want to thank all of you for watching, hanging on. Shout out to Jeff and Luke, Chirion, and everybody here. I saw Mark in the building as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you back here in just about 2 hours or so. Practice should begin at about 7 p.m. as long as there's no traffic or we're not waiting on a couple of players. Things should begin right at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be here. We'll let you know in the chat if we do need to delay it for a little bit like we did this afternoon or this morning. By 10 or 15 minutes, I will be sure to let you know that. With that said, we appreciate you. For Tournament Director Jason Ochwald, shout out to Jason Peach and everybody involved with the tournament